Trying to remember how to do my little video. Oh, there it is.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash.
Hello, everybody. Let me remember how to find my little intro since I'm kind of still new to it. Lots of hugs to the broccoli. Hello, Mr. Cheatwood. It's been a while. I hope you're doing good. Let's see. Let's figure out where we want to kick off from. Let's see. Oh, well, I came across a scam. I guess I'll share that with y'all for a minute. Let me... Oop, wrong button. I've had like a couple of hours of sleep, so I'm kind of like brain dead, so sorry about that. Entire screen. Yeah, we'll just save ourselves in trouble. We'll just do that. Anywho, so... Where is it? Oh, yeah, the scam thing. So I was looking up for a guitar for my daughter, trying to find her something fancy. And Facebook, you know how Facebook is. It knows your business. So it had an ad for Sam Ash. And I'm like, I've heard of that before. Let's scroll down. And I was like, boy, that's a little too nice. A Gibson Les Paul for $139. I'm like, suspicious, suspicious, suspicious. And I almost fell for it. I almost did. And I was like, wait a minute. So I decided to try something that I found that's common in fake websites. Like, say, right here, it says contact us. Click on that. And it just goes back to that page again. Let's see, terms of service. Click on that. Yeah, apparently they couldn't bother to make any other pages of the website except for where you check out, because you can, they got that set up. So do watch out for this. Apparently their Sam Ash actually looks a little, I think this is what it used to look like back like in the 90s, because it looked awfully familiar. That's why I didn't realize it was a problem at first. But I looked up the actual Sam Ash, and I sent them a link to this, and I was like, is this like a company that's connected to you guys? It probably is not. Because again, the only thing that really works on this website is being able to purchase stuff. But you can't, like I said, you can't really, about the Sam Ash store, didn't work. The website is shit. So I thought I'd share that with y'all. So I'll close this down for now. Yes, like I was guitar shopping. Anywho, so let's go on over here. Now it says the Florida governor orders court to hide comments he made during judicial appointments. Bruh. The fuck? And he looks like a crazy person right here. Like he looks like someone forced him to eat a lemon. He just looks sour as fuck. But yeah, makes me really want to know what those comments were. Governor DeSantis' lawyer said that he requested that Florida court grant privacy for all proceedings during the judicial nomination. The attorney asked the court to keep the information private and away from public view. I feel like he should be kicked right out of office just for trying that shit, to be honest. This comes days after a John Doe requested public records from DeSantis' office relating to court appointments. The executive privilege addresses the 1999 bar complaint and later suit filed by Judge Angela Dempsey of Leon County Circuit Court to deny the public. See, like, this guy should just be kicked out of office. If you are trying to get someone to hide what you said in a judicial thing, like, nah, fuck off, man, with that. Let's see. DRC. Oh, but Democratic Republic of the Congo. Okay. RV says it stopped attempting. Okay. So, yeah, this is hilarious. Apparently, a couple of Americans, and maybe they have dual citizenship to Israel. I'm not sure. Like, there's a couple of reports of that, but I didn't see anything solid about that. But yeah, a couple of white boys basically got caught in the Congo. Apparently, their passport was suspicious or something. I don't know what the deal was. Supposedly, one of the guys' moms came out and was saying that, no. You know, he's not a spy. He's not CIA or anything. He was on vacation. I'm sorry. Like, maybe I'm out of touch, but who the hell goes to the Democratic Republic of the Congo for vacation? That's not exactly Hawaii, you know. Like, that's a weird place to vacation. But, you know, whatever. That just sounds a little strange to me. Let's see. Armed men attacked the presidency in the city center, according to a spokesman. Another attack took place. Oh, so apparently there was a bunch of silly shit going on. The 2 guards and an attacker had been killed at the incident. Let's scroll this down a little bit. Man, those ads are popping up everywhere for fucking guitars. God almighty. Ugh. Let's see. Let's see. So, apparently around 50 people, including 3 Americans, were arrested and are currently undergoing interrogations. Ooh, I wonder what interrogations are like in the Congo. I imagine it's not good. Now this kind of annoyed me. It says new 9/11 evidence points to deep Saudi complicity. Bitch, are you fucking kidding me? People have been talking about the supposed 9/11 hijackers were like Saudi citizens. It's been talked about for 20 years. Duh. Isn't it amazing that 20 years later they're like, oh, it might have some connections to Saudi? Like, no shit. No shit. For 20 years, through the 2 wars, domestic upheaval, and that's the shit. The idea that Al Qaeda acted alone on 9/11 has been no, that's the shit the CIA and everybody try to say. No, we knew they were fucking Saudi citizens because, weirdly enough, that like 1 or 2 of their passports were found on the ground floor for some reason. But whatever, still weird. Their fucking audacity. Ugh. Let me go see where everybody's at real quick. Oh, obviously, okay. Do that. Very good. I fucking bet. Oddly enough, our county jail does too. They keep saying, oh, this prisoner died of like natural causes. And it's like, it seems to happen a lot in your jails. Kind of scary that we have anything in common with that. Yikes. Gotta figure out where my shit's at. Hold on. There we go. Okay. A new filing in a lawsuit brought by the families of 9/11 victims against the government of Saudi Arabia alleges that Al Qaeda has significant, indeed decisive, state support for its attacks. We always kind of assumed that was it. I mean, duh. It's wild they're making it sound like it's something new now. And then this fucking happened. German group accused of plotting a coup. See, Germany kind of needs one because they've lost their fucking mind right now. It's amazing. They're like 10 for 10. Every time there's a conflict, they either started it or they're on the wrong side. They have the worst record. Every time they see a conflict, they should just sit down and shut up, and they should not get involved. That's really just the best way they can start fixing their track record. Anyway, it's an alleged coup plot featuring a German aristocrat, a massive arsenal of weapons, and the belief that Queen Elizabeth II's death may have been a secret signal to add. Fuck? Well, that's a lot to unpack right there, huh? Queen Elizabeth part's really weird. The trial of people allegedly connected to the so-called Reisberger? I'm doing the best I can with that. I don't have enough in my pronunciation, probably. Reisberger movement are underway with those accused of being ringleaders set to appear before judges. Plotters are said to have hatched a scheme to violently overthrow the German government. To be fair, violence would probably be required. I get that. Investigators claim that the conspiracy theorists believed that the country was being run by the deep state. Something tells me that's not a conspiracy theory. There is conspiracy involved, though. The hearing in Frankfurt on Tuesday is the highest profile of these three trials following nationwide raids in 2022. Nationwide raids, huh? Oh boy. The case is being seen as highly significant because both its size and potential insight that could give in to far-right networks. Oh boy. Reisberger, or Citizens of the Reich, is a loose, desperate group that denies the legitimacy of the modern German state, even claiming it was installed as a victorious ally after World War II. You know, things did get kind of fucking weird over there after World War II. I mean, of course, a lot had happened, but Domestic intelligence has estimated that around 23,000 people follow this movement, which displays anti-Semitic attitudes. See, I think we're getting to the bottom of it. That seems to be a very popular word right now. And that's interesting because a lot of times people who believe in the deep state and all this are actually seem to be, ironically, here in America, supporting where I think the deep state's actually rooted, oddly enough. But that's a whole other thing. Anyway, anti-Semitic attitudes and a high affinity for weapons. I didn't think weapons were very popular in Europe. But it's alleged that the people connected to the Reisberger, I know I'm pronouncing it so wrong, I'm sorry, drew up plans for an armed group to enter the National Parliament in Berlin and arrest MPs on what they call Day X. Honestly, I think a lot of people everywhere should start getting together and start, going after their parliaments and their government buildings and just start dragging people out. Honestly, you know what? These guys might be onto something. Just saying. Either they're a little weird, a broken watch we write twice a day. According to the indictment, there were discussions about whether the death of late Queen Elizabeth II was a signal. I think that's a little bit weird, but okay. Much of the attention in this trial will focus on Heinrich 13. I think that's a 13. Prince Reus, a former real estate developer from Frankfurt who descended from an aristocratic family, House of Rus. Well, that does sound fancy. It's alleged the 72-year-old held meetings of the group's central council at his home in East Germany. They call him East Germany anymore. As earmarked as the head of the state, had the coup succeeded. According to the indictment, he'd been responsible for negotiating peace treaties with allies and had appeared at the Russian consulate in Leipzig think it's Leipzig. I might have actually pronounced that right. As part of attempts to reach out to Moscow. See, that's wild as fuck. That is. And honestly, like, they convinced the deep state's being ran over there. Like, probably. I don't think he's necessarily wrong. I think the Queen Elizabeth, the death, signaling the takeoff, but I think that's a little fucking weird. You know, but a lot of times they will sometimes put some truth in there and then add some weird shit in there to make the whole thing seem delegitimized. You know what I mean? So I think the Queen Elizabeth thing is just dumb. I mean, she was like fucking 90. I mean, you know, sometimes it's just your time. But, like, it doesn't mean that their government's not being run by some deep state shit, though. You can be right about one thing and wrong about another. I'm kind of curious about this more, though. The council was to act as a central body-wide military arm consisting of 286 units would have enforced new order nationwide. I don't know. They sound like they were pretty organized. They sound like they had a plan. I don't know. I have a feeling someone snitched, though. That's why I always tell people, like, if you're going to do some wild-ass shit, you probably better off doing it by yourself, because if the group's big enough, someone's going to snitch. Just saying. The association also had financial resources around 500,000 euro. Oh. Over time, members are said to have become increasingly isolated from the outside world. Again, I kind of don't blame them. The outside world is kind of shit. I don't blame them, to be honest. So far, I don't hate these guys. Jesus Christ, I can't pronounce this shit. I'm not German. A senior researcher at the Extremism Monitoring Agency. Extremism Monitoring Agency. Yo! Yeah, that sounds like some 1984 shit. Says conspiratorial sovereigntist movements can be dated back to a wish by some. So now they're trying to associate people who believe in country sovereignty with this word. Lovely. Fucking lovely. You see how they sneak that in there, eh? He says that the Reichsbürger movement, which has a violent far-right tradition, has been dangerously underestimated. We can hope. I always root for an underdog. That's my thing. People always thought these people were crazy, just writing crazy letters to the government. Well, when you get tired of writing letters that fall on deaf ears, I imagine other steps must be taken. Again, so far, don't blame anybody. Mr. Rathje, I don't know, says that even though the alleged coup attempt would likely have not have succeeded, people still could have been seriously hurt. See, that's not thinking constantly. Oops. On a symbolic level, this would have been a success for these radical forces because they would have struck against the government in a violent way, and this might promote the idea the government is weak. Well, if you have to put your boot on people's neck, you are weak because, duh. At least weak in character, you know. Well, I hope they get out. Anyway, so okay, I need to find a couple of things, get a couple of things ready. So right here, I'm going to get back to this first one in a minute. Did Egypt sabotage Israel-Hamas ceasefire? I bet you they fucking did. I bet you they did. And I'm sure somebody's going to be like, well, what makes you think this more? I will be happy to show you. Give me a minute. Damn, dude. See if I freaking find it. Might be over here. Wait, but actually, no, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, let me go back and read that. Hold on. Oh. Hi, Kronos. There's a book called The Leviathan and Its Enemies. I have not heard of it. I've heard the word Leviathan before. Let's see. Bureaucracy is the enemy of civilization. Amen. Yes. Boots on necks don't exist where there is consent of the government. Amen again. Amen. You know what? I like that. I'm going to leave that up there for a minute. Let me go over here. So let me find it. Because oh, here it is. So I saved this. I actually compiled a few tweets and whatnots together. So this was back in January. Let's see. So this is the mayor, Egyptian mayor, Mir Masari. You know what? I don't fucking know. Anyway, so this fucking jackwagon right here. Let's zoom in. Apparently, it's a limit how much you can zoom in. All right, so this was when they were talking about taking Israel to The Hague. And so he's like, I expect traffic accidents to happen today. Normal, fate. He's basically wishing car accidents on the people who are trying to get the warrants and stuff together and investigate war crimes. Gee, I can't imagine why. Isn't that an odd flag to have if you're an Egyptian mayor? Isn't that weird? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, isn't that a little odd? But it's supposed to look like this, not that. But, you know, oh, well, he's a lecturer in political science at Hebrew University of Jerusalem. But it has him down as, I don't know, Dr. Egyptian mayor. So I don't get that. So this guy, I think he just got a lot going on. But yeah, received information. Yeah, so apparently a lot of the stuff that's supposed to be getting to Gaza is getting sold in the black market in Egypt, not making it across the border. Oh yeah, apparently Egypt's response is if you can't control that about stuff being sold on the black market, if you have a problem with it, then you can find yourself another border to enter to aid Gaza or to aid going to Gaza. Well, there's a limit to what borders you can go through. And that sounds like a guilty motherfucker. So when it says, oh, did Egypt, sabotage the talks? I fucking bet they did. Because that tracks. That absolutely tracks for me. It really does. They have been letting a lot of stuff not get through. Absolutely scandalous. Stealing from people who are hungry is shit. It is. I don't care who they are. I don't care what religion or what country. If you steal and destroy stuff so poor people or sick, hungry people can't have it, you're crap. That's just it. This mess right fucking here. I've talked about this in my other live streams. They love to recycle people. So here we have this. Now, this was one of the first videos that was shown in October when this stuff first kicked off. And so I kind of analyzed it, and boy, there's some holes to poke into this. Let's see. So this girl right here, they're saying that she was a peace activist, which I wouldn't be surprised that made her a target, and not by the people you think. But Israeli hostage family kidnap video reminds the world. Well, they'd like to do that. I mean, I kind of get it in general. But yeah, so apparently she was taken off a base October 7th. Off the base. It's pretty wild. Can you imagine that you can, because Israel is one of the most monitored places in the world. The cameras, the guards every 100 yards or whatever, it's a fucking lot. So can you imagine being able to just go onto a military base and take somebody? It's so wild. It's fucking wild. But okay. I'm not going to read this part out loud, but it showed blood on her pants. I'm not going to, go into that. I mean, I'm going to let you read it. I just don't want YouTube kicking me off, is what I'm saying. And I actually have a picture for this, too, that I put together. As soon as I figure out what I'm doing. Clearly, I don't know. So, this is the downloads. Oh, okay. So, we gotta go do that again, I guess. So, hold on. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. I'm gonna go back to that again. Well, when I put them over my photos, I thought I had downloaded them. Clearly, I did not. Okay. Well, apparently, I'm going to have to get that together. So just give me a. Hey, DJ B2, how are you, darling? Give me a second, because I had the collage on my phone. I just thought I had sent it over so I could pick it up there, but just give me a minute. Go into my grid art. There we go. Figure out how to send this. I'm sorry. I thought I had already done it. I don't know what the fuck I must have been doing this morning. Because apparently it wasn't this. So, upload complete. All right. Just close a bunch of stuff down on my phone. All right. Whoop. It jumped. What? I did. I said meow to you, Kronos. Yes, I did. Oh. I said hi to you when I first came back and saw everybody talking in the comments. Anywho, hold on a second. All right. I'm going to get over here. Photos. All right. That's odd. Now it's uploaded, but whatever. All right. So I had looked at these 3 different pictures. They're all put out by Israel approved fucking shit. So, all right. So this is the girl they're talking about. That girl that it was showing you a second ago that the family wants to remind everyone about her. This is her. I'm not playing the video for obvious reasons because YouTube. But I did find it interesting that the vehicle she's being pulled out of, because weirdly enough, they put her back here. There's not hardly any room to be back here. They stop in the middle of the road, take her out, and put her in the back seat. That's such a weird thing to do. That's kind of odd. Like, that just seems inconvenient and not, like, advantageous to what you're doing. Anyway, I found it interesting that the vehicle that she's pulled out of and then forced back into is a military. The plate is an Israeli military plate. And I actually went to bothered to go to the trouble of looking it up. You're welcome to as well. You can look up what Israel license plates look like, which are going to be yellow. You can look up what Palestinian license plates look like, and they are white with either black letters or green letters. I think it depends on whether or not it's a commercial vehicle. Can't remember that part. But Israeli military ones are black with white letters or numbers. So you are free to go look that up. I don't expect you to 100% take everything I say for, gospel. Anyways, and this is the girl again. This is the girl that's in that picture. Look. Just a touch base with it real quick. Her. This is the girl they're talking about. Give me a second. Now I'm trying to figure out what that was. There we go. Okay. My mouse is not very good. I apologize. Anyways, so I'm sure y'all remember seeing these Israeli girls dancing around. It's the worst dancing I've seen. And I'm a bad dancer. Anyway, and so they had these girls. Let me hide this little thing right here so I can see it. Okay, January the 9th. This is one. So this happened in I'm guessing early January. These girls were dancing around. And they had just uploaded to TikTok. And I think they were told there might be insurgency in the area. Well, anyway, apparently they got grabbed, which is weird because if they're out there on patrol, why are they dressed as civilians? That's kind of fucking weird. But this January the 9th, they're saying this video, you can see it right here. Right here, it says, in this video, I think Nama, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Like most Israelis, on October 7th tried to appeal to the terrorist humanity. But this is supposedly October the 7th, where this girl is. So how is these girls, this one here, kidnapped in January, if supposedly she was kidnapped at the same time as this girl on October 7th? And right here, it's not the best view, but that girl, the one with the blue hoodie, is right on the other side of her because you see some of her blue hoodie and her ponytail. So if they were kidnapped months apart, how come there shows them being captured together? You can see how this is fucking weird for me. This is not the first time I've found weird shit, and it's completely just doesn't make sense. So, So that's what I have to say about that mess right here. So now this, I have been, y'all heard about, I don't know if y'all did, but if by all means do go look it up if I don't have it up here. Apparently, Israel has basically did what they could to detain the Associated Press reporters. I believe they detained them, took their cameras, and I think they've been kicked out of Israel, basically. And I think it's probably because the Associated Press was able to debunk all the wild sexual assault allegations that there were. And it's not that I don't think people use rape as a form of control and torture in war. I'm not saying they don't, in general. But if y'all remember, all the stuff that was going on October 7th, that you had a whole bunch of people riding around on motorbikes with rifles, and they had the IDF chasing them with helicopters, shooting everything, including their own people. So with all that going on, I don't see how someone has time to stop all over the place and do all these sexual assaults. How are you going to do that when you have an army chasing you? That doesn't make sense. It really just, it does, again, it goes right back to, it just does not seem strategically useful to do that. So I always thought that seemed a little strange and grandiose. And sure enough, and like I said, I'm not saying bad people don't sexually assault people. I'm not claiming that either side has never done that. But when you're in a high-paced situation, fast-paced, high-stress situation, I can't see people taking out time here and there to start doing that. It just seems like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a good strategy. It does not seem very time efficient. And I saw this and I thought, I wonder if this might be one of the reasons that the Iranian president was killed and his buddy. So, I mean, well, there's probably multiple reasons why his helicopter went down, obviously. But when you keep seeing stuff like this, it's like, huh. Because secret Iran-U.S. talks on Gaza war undermined by his death. So they probably knew there was conversations going on and Israel decided, you know what, this is just not working out for us. We cannot risk this happening. So down he goes. Well, obviously we knew about this part because we were just discussing it, but was there like something else? Oh, fucking Chip Roy. God, that name just sounds like a Republican in Texas. And apparently, it is. Go figure. And I'm a Republican in Oklahoma, so like, it's the names they come up with. ICC attack on Netanyahu is completely unacceptable. This guy couldn't kiss ass harder. First off, I don't care any country who thinks they're ordained by anything. Killing a shit ton of unarmed people is not okay. It never is. And the fact that, they're running around completely unaccountable, there's long-term ramifications to worry about with things like this. And it's not, not to sound selfish, but basically it comes back to if it can happen to them, it can happen to us concept. This is one of the reasons why it has bothered me so much that something like this could happen. Because depending on where on the political spectrum you are, there is a concern and a worry with lots of people that our government's going to, do bad shit to us. Because let's be honest, our government's done it before. All kinds of different ways. They've secretly poisoned populations. There was a time when they would put LSD in the fucking drinking water in towns to see what it would do. I'm serious. You can look that up too. So it's like that little sound clip on TikTok. If you ever think that your government wouldn't do that, oh yes, they would. And so if our country ever does decide they're going to freak out and start rounding us up, shooting us, throwing in mass pits, doing whatever the fuck they want to do, who's going to come save us? Because you can't say, our government wouldn't do that, because we already know first chance they get, they fucking will. But think about this. If we're allowing this to go on, we're supposed to be a superpower, and we're allowing this to happen, who's gonna come rescue us? if we're thrown in a pit and killed, who's going to put those people on trial? Fucking no one. That's a bad precedent. So even if you don't like Muslims, you've got to look at a bigger picture here of what this kind of, well, precedent means. And that's scary. Nobody, no country, not us, not Israel, fucking even Scotland, no fucking where should anyone go completely unchecked and be able to do just anything they want to their people or to anyone around them. There are rules in place for a reason. And don't get me wrong, I'm a bit of anarchist, but there are limits. And I do find it interesting that the majority of, not all, but a big majority of the people who are happy and excited about Netanyahu doing this are the same people who absolutely swear up and down they will pick up arms if their government turns against them, even though they will be considered a terrorist. I'm just saying. I think it's interesting. I found this interesting because the U.S. has been trying to say that the president of Iran was hated. Oh, it probably was. I'm not saying it. There's going to be people in a country that like and hate their leaders. So, but they were trying to talk about how awful he was, and they were talking about like it was going to be not much of a turnout for his funeral, and they almost all but said that they wanted people just basically don't watch the funeral procession. And it says thousands marched, to mourn the president. I think it's interesting. Like, it seems like the news here does not want people to even think their country might have liked their leader. I don't know. It seems kind of, weird. But I'm sure it's all got some psychological purpose to its bullshit. U.S. says Palestinian state should come via talks, not unilateral recognition. If you want to go look it up, Palestine tried. In 2014 or 2015, Palestine even requested to become part of the UN, I do believe. They multiple times requested to be heard. They requested to join. Everything. They really did. So when someone in the U.S. says, well, Palestine should have, should try to talk it out. They did. If you go look it up, I think it was 2014, they actually tried to join the UN. And nobody would let them do it. I mean, what do you do when no one will listen to you? They always tell you take the proper channels because the bad guys in charge control those channels. Now, which headline is this one? I think we're knocking it. Oh, my fucking goodness. Combating anti-Semitism in K through 12 schools. First off, most of those, like at least K through 5, is not going to even know what this is. They're not going to understand what this means. But no, they want to make sure they tell your kids how to think, not what to. They want to teach them what to think. So they're gonna be like, nope, can't do this. And you got to remember the same kind of shit that's pushing this is also pushing to have trigger warnings put in the Bible in the areas where like it makes Jewish people look bad. I'm serious. They want to put like warnings in the Bible. Like, they say that the part of the Bible where it says the Jews killed Jesus is anti-Semitic and shouldn't be allowed. Like, I'm serious. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Anybody who wants to change the history books are not usually the good guys. Just gonna say, especially when it's supposed to favor them. Like, that's, whew. And the fact that these evangelicals seem to be awfully quiet about it seems super fucking weird. So, yikes. Oh, yes. So this is going back to that Congo business where that possible CIA guy was caught. The family of American caught in Congo failed coup says their son went there on vacation. I find that unlikely because, again, I'm not sure. Even if it's a mistaken identity situation or misunderstanding, what exactly do you do to accidentally be accused of being like a spy trying to do a coup? Like, I assume you have to be all up in some business doing some stupid shit. So I find that kind of interesting. Let's say I went on vacation with friends and had not previously engaged in political activism. And yet, this mess. So I can't wait to see how this plays out because I have no idea. I really don't know how to make heads or tails of the situation. Usually I've got a theory. This is kind of a mess. I actually have no idea. Oh, fuck. I thought the CIA wasn't even supposed to really do a whole lot on U.S. soil. I thought they were, going off doing other stupid shit other places. So it's kind of weird that they're here blocking the IRS from investigating. What the fuck? Fucking CIA. I swear to God, if CIA is blocking shit, you know they're involved. You know they have an interest in hiding. They have something they want to hide. Their involvement. So yeah. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, I swear. Anyway, so this was because of that thing where they were showing the footage of that girl who was taken on October 7th. I think it's interesting because the last couple of days I've noticed they've been putting out a lot more footage supposedly from October 7th. But I think it's interesting because this got glossed over. This happened in December. And I saw it published in like 2 places, and that's it. And then nobody talked about it again. They talked about it for about a day, and it's almost like it got suppressed on the internet. Thankfully, it's still here for now. But critical IDF surveillance videos from Hamas attack on October 7th is missing. Missing. Can you imagine? You have this, if you go with the whole pictures or it didn't happen, I kind of do. I find that so interesting that you want to kill a shit ton of people, but somehow your critical evidence disappeared. Fuck me sideways. You have to be kidding. Oh, let me get a swig of my drink here. Oh, God. That is strong. I have got to add water to that. Ooh, that's a lot of liquor. The surveillance camera footage along the Gaza border from October 7th has not been deleted or missing, the IDF announced on Sunday. That's weird because, yeah. Evening after speculations about security footage vanishing started floating around. Well, that's interesting because they actually had put out things saying it. So when did this get redone? Hold on. Sometimes it'll show like if it was changed. So, but yeah, because for a while there, they were asked to show evidence of stuff in October, November, and December. They were told to submit evidence so they can see, so like the rest of the world, like the UN, could see what was going on. And they refused to do it. They said they did not have to hand it over, and that basically us asking for evidence was insulting, which sounds like gaslighting to me, obviously. If someone did me wrong and I had evidence, absolutely I would show you. Duh. During a recent visit by senior IDF officers to various brigade headquarters, a troubling revelation came to light. It became apparent that surveillance camera footage along the Gaza border dating back to the day the war with Hamas broke out had mysteriously vanished. Weird, like footage from the day before didn't disappear, just up to that day? Okay. Furthermore, critical recordings from Black Sabbath had been removed from the central database. I want to see what the Black Sabbath is, because I have absolutely no fucking clue what that means. So, web search. See what that is. That's Sabbath, not Sabbath. Google's having a tough time with this one. Or not, this isn't Google, but yeah. Okay, well, we're not. Okay, we're not going to get a proper definition right now, apparently. Anyway, Black Sabbath had been removed from the central database. These developments have raised suspicions and fueled a sense that everyone is primarily looking out for their own interests with an eye on what's coming next. The IDF's official statement on this issue is that the videos were not deleted, but rather restricted to authorized personnel. Okay. My mouse is not working right. The clothes of Thai workers, many of whom were killed or kidnapped, hang outside a destroyed home following the deadly October 7th attack by Hamas. Israel, November the 1st. Teams were tasked with analyzing the lessons learned from the war and studying Hamas' operation strategies. Their objective was to disseminate this knowledge among combat units for various reasons. So let's back out. Now let's go to Jerusalem Post on the same day. See if this is different or if they copy paste this too. So I think that's super interesting. They were asked to show evidence, and then word got around, and they had actually reported that the evidence had disappeared. They even put out a statement, which I can try to find. See. Let's see. IDF state. All right, let's see if we can find it or not. Because some things do get scrubbed off the internet. It's hard to keep everything. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's showing a day ago, 9 hours ago. So they've pushed what I'm looking for probably way, way down the list. The video of Hamas kidnapping female soldiers 2 days ago. Well, they're not going to make that one easy at all. Well, I am probably that's probably a statement that's probably just gonna disappear. But actually, hold on, I might have it, but it may be way far down in my gallery, so I may have to just like make this for like a video for another time, probably. Hold on, gotta find the right tab. I got a lot of them. All right, okay, I gotta. This mouse is bullshit. Let's see. Maybe some dollar vigilante. I think the Congo's a bad place to start that. Like, you should be on Rumble, less censorship. Correct. But also, like, it's hard to find anybody on there. Like, I only know, like, I mean, I'm sure other people go live, but I only know, like, one person who actually goes live. But I have to be told that. I don't even get notifications. At least YouTube's a little bit better about that. And it seems to be easier to stumble across people and find them on here. Because it at least sort of predicts who you might be interested in. And maybe at least throws somebody, a friend of a friend, onto your, suggestions. Like, Rumble doesn't seem to do that. Let's see. Or you have... So, dancing is good. Oh, I know, right? I try not to make mistakes of thinking, well, that's correct. I don't either. I mean, I would like to see them at least make some effort to try to make, a cohesive story. Although, I mean, I'm kind of glad they're not good at it because we should know when they're lying. I don't trust any one of them. Nope. I don't know exactly who you're referring to, but I automatically agree with you because, whether it's the news or the governments, I don't trust them. But it is good to have the news because it's good to be able to compare, this story with another story and see if it lines up, see if they, twist their lies up and you can catch them. At least it gives you some idea of what's going on. You just kind of got to decipher the mess. Oh, hello, Multi-Gun. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. Laura on StreamYard. Well, I'm almost done. I basically just on here to rant about stuff. We can talk each other down. Brandon Herrera seemed to have traction in Texas. Brandon Herrera. I'm not sure I know who that name is. But, I mean, a lot of shit, so I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yes. My friend, our friend BK sent me a thing about them going after Ticketmasters. And honestly, like, it's such a weird spot for me on that because I always believe that if you did a really good job, grow your company as big as whatever. But also people take advantage of that. And honestly, if it goes unchecked, because they try to check Microsoft back in the early 90s, they try to check, it was like 94? I don't remember exactly when. That's something you'll have to Google because I'm actually not sure. But they went after Bill Gates because Microsoft was getting that monopoly going on. And he pretty much got away with it, as we all can see today. Yes. Absolutely yes. Everyone should be able to have one. Everyone, like, well, again, here in America, or Oklahoma specifically, I don't know gun laws necessarily anywhere else, but gun laws in Oklahoma, you can be 18 to get a rifle and 21 for a handgun. And I think it should be that way. And I even think that certain felons should be able to have guns, in fact. Especially if it's a non-violent crime, like you got caught with weed. Like, that's not the same as brandishing a gun at a bank or something, is it? It's like, you got caught with some weed. Big fucking deal. I think you should be able to have a gun if you need it. Honestly. I do. And if you use, let's say you went to jail for like 15 years because you did some gang member shit, and you're out, and you're being good, but you're also worried that like old acquaintances might come bother you in your new life, and you're trying to be good. I think you should have a gun in your house to protect you, because what if they do come for you like that? But I want it to be a special kind of gun, because like if you used to be a gang member and you got in trouble for gun charges and something like that, you can't exactly take your gun to Walmart. Like here in Oklahoma, like they have open carry, so if the store allows it, you can walk around shopping with a gun on your hip. Like nobody cares. At least not enough people care. So it's not a problem. And honestly, I'm more worried about people who are hiding the gun than those who are just like walking around with it on their hip, to be honest. Because if it's out in the open, I assume you have nothing to hide, so I'm not worried about you. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that if you have gun charges and stuff, but you're trying to be good now, I think you should have a gun that has like an RFID thing or whatever, so that way within the perimeter of your yard and your house, the gun will work. But if you try to take the gun away from the property, it disables and you cannot use it. So that way you have to use it for home protection and nothing else. It's like Second Amendment with training wheels, kind of. You know what I mean? So, but if you like rape kids or something, and someone was stupid enough to let you out of jail, I don't think you should have that. Because I feel like there is a limit. I think the super extra gross stuff, like you probably should not get a gun. But like, you were stupid like 10 years ago, you felony drunk driving, but you're better now. Like, I get that. Concealed carry benefits everyone. Those, right? Exactly. And I do feel, for the most part, an armed society is a polite society. It certainly evens things out a bit. Because think about it. Like, say some 21-year-old guy, is going to go and, like, beat on an old lady and, like, try to take her money. She's not going to be able to do much of anything, but if she can pull a trigger, she might be able to stop him before he gets to her. It gives her at least a fighting chance, because, pound for pound, she's not going to be able to fight him off. I'm, like, almost 43, and I don't have the best shoulder joints. Like, I'd probably get my ass whipped by a 21-year-old. I probably would, and it would suck. Like, I would just get my purse taken. Like, I'd just be done. Like, if I had something to protect myself, it would at least help. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, in Oklahoma, you can just carry it on your hip. And if I was a bad guy and I saw that, I wouldn't want to mess with somebody who was just carrying on their hip, because they're probably waiting for me. You know what I mean? They've probably been waiting all day for someone for a motherfucker to try. So I wouldn't want none of that, for sure. Of course, then again, I'm not really looking for a way to get over on other people and try to rob them anyway, but I'm just saying, like, I think it would reduce one's chances. Because people just statistically, if they're coming to aggress or rob you or whatever, they're looking for someone who's an easy target. They don't want anything that's going to take too long or be too much of a hassle. That, I think they've interviewed criminals, and that was one of the things they said. They don't want anything that's too much of a hassle. But, not necessarily. Just because someone's trans doesn't mean they don't like a guy or a girl. And besides, sometimes it's not even about attraction. It's about uh, punishment and like control. So, I mean, there's probably been some straight dudes out there, or at least self-proclaimed straight dudes who've like, forced another dude for some reason, like in jail or whatever, to establish dominance. So, like, anybody's capable of some shit. Doesn't matter if you're trans or not. Plus, I'm actually surprised that the oh, you're being a douche. Okay. Besides, I'm surprised with as much this gay community, feels at risk that they don't protect themselves more. Although there has been some pro Second Amendment LGBTQ people, but they don't get heard very often. They get silenced and suppressed quite a bit on timelines and shit. Go figure, huh? God forbid someone doesn't follow the narrative, eh? But yeah, I feel like I've vented everything. Oh, well, there's this mess, by the way. So, apparently, the Aberjan, I don't know how to, Ajdaban? Ajdabani. You know what? I'm doing the best I can here. Anyway, there's been some shit going on with them for a fucking long time. I'm sure y'all heard about the Armenian massacre and genocide in the early 1900s. Well, on and off, it's been a problem. Here, I do believe this guy apparently is bad luck because this article is saying that Slovak Prime Minister Fico was shot dead in an armed attack 3 days after meeting with Azerbaijani president. Iranian president's helicopter crashed a few hours after his meeting with the Azerbaijani president. This guy is bad luck. And I can't tell in this picture. It's hard to see. Like, I guess it's supposed to be the Prime Minister of Fico, but he looks very similar to the King of Jordan from this angle. He's making a weird face. He's got a weird lemon face. Like, I don't know what's going on over there. But he's got a mean, he's got a scary smile. Like, look at this dude's smile. He looks like he knows when you're going to die. For real. That's not a smile you can trust. This is the kind of guy that would like shake your hand, put his other hand over your that hand, kind of like hugging your hand, and to call you friend, and then like order your assassination an hour later. For real. But yeah, this guy, they've been going after Christians over in Azerbaijan. It's been an on, like the news isn't really talking about it much. But yeah, if you look it up, it's been going on for a while. And guess who's been helping arm them? I know, you could be like, Maury, you're so anti-Semitic. Apparently that's the popular ruling these days. But nonetheless, they have, and it's weird because apparently America hasn't helped Israel with weapons, so we keep sending weapons to them, but they, in turn, are taking weapons and giving it to Azerbaijan to kill Christians. I'm really concerned that the evangelical Christians in this country are not paying close attention. They talk the most about discernment, but their discernment is absolute fucking trash. Holy fuck. I got better discernment. My brain is like, I've only had a couple hours sleep, so bear with me. Anyway, my brain, like part of my brain feels like it's going to sleep as it is. Anyway, yeah. This guy? Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess that guy is this guy right here. Okay. Well, this is a better view of him. Let's see. Oh, wow. May 7th, assassination attempt against the Saudi crown prince. Hadn't heard about that. Turkish president holds an emergency meeting following warning of a possible military coup. 15th, an assassination attempt on this guy right here. Citizens arrested for threatening assassination of Serbian president. I cannot pronounce that. I'm not going to try. You know what? I can't. Can't do it. Well, the Saudi king, Salam, apparently was hospitalized for a second time in 4 weeks. Now, to be fair, somebody could just have a shitty lung infection. So, like, we can just, like, mark that off. Like, that's a maybe. Put a question mark next to that. But the month of May has been a busy month, apparently. Let's look at this shit. Fucking crazy. Honestly, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, someone's kicked the nest and bugs are running everywhere. And things are kicking up because what's going on in the Middle East. And, like, the mask is coming off and people are just going crazy right now. So I can't believe anybody would want to go over there. Apparently, they're talking about flights going in and out of the Middle East, like around Israel and stuff like that. Like, why would anybody want to go over there to that mess? Anywho, Marion, Mario. I'm assuming you're trying to say my name. You are tired, you poor little thing. Or, oh, okay, we're okay. It's Black Sabbath. Gotcha. Good Catholic boys. Tom is a Catholic. The alphabet people rely on enforcement of the government to acquire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of one part of Behold a Pale Horse, where it talks about like the people like using the government and the police to basically carry out their bidding. If they got a problem with somebody, they send men with guns to handle it because so that way they feel like their hands are clean because they're willing to send people to kill for them, basically. Can't remember the exact wording, but the, the vibe is there. Oh. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep, me either. Oh, excuse me. Anywho's. So, yeah, I think I've depressurized and complained enough. I feel a little bit better. That took an hour. I actually thought it was going to take less time. That was oddly the goal that time. Oh, well. Anyway, so as I see more news and stuff that pisses me off, I will be absolutely glad to jump back on and complain. So, oh, actually, I don't have to go ahead and share that anymore. Ooh. I'm sorry. Like, I know you meant the fans, but like, fanny, like in England, is like a slightly different meaning, and that is fucking hilarious. Like, it sounds like you cleaned your computer's cooter, and I'm giggling inside. Oh my gosh. Anywho, I love y'all. Y'all are awesome. Go get some sleep, Chronos. I need to as well. Anywho, I love y'all. I am so glad y'all came by. Let's see. Let's look here. Frosty Broccoli and Sashi, Mr. Cheatwood, Chronos, and Biku. Awesome bunch. Love y'all. Oops. Oh, you didn't really make me vomit. Partially because I'm not even entirely sure what would have. Like, did you say something gross and I just missed it? Oh, either way. I love y'all, and I shall talk to you in a day or so. It depends on how long it takes me to. Because usually, like, if I find articles I find interesting, the headlines, I'll save them. So once I get to about 10 or 15, it doesn't take me long to do that. So anyway, but lots of hugs, and I shall see you in a day or so.